Hey there, welcome back to Bridges. We are talking about ways that you can get a better handle on your financial situation without employing the use of folks like payday lenders. We're talking about experts in this particular area, and I'd like to introduce them to you again. We have Valerie Moffett, who's the program officer from LISC. We have Cynthia Campbell, who's the director of Innovation Labs with a company called Filene Research Institute. And we have Evelyn McKinney, who's the income manager at United Way of Greater Toledo. So again, there are alternatives. There's a great product in town that's an alternative to payday lenders. And what are you finding at United Way to be, go ahead.
So what we know, the work that I am actually responsible for the oversight of is to help to build and create a strategy, which is a community-wide strategy to really address the stability of our individuals and families in our community. So while this product, the ESSDL, as I like to call it, is a piece of it, we also are building a much broader foundation with all of the work and some of the investments that we're making for the community.
So tell me about that.
Well, we want families and individuals to be more financially stable, as I spoke. So we actually have a new plan that we just rolled out with our bold goals, Live United 2020 plan. There are 6 priority areas, but specific to the place of financial stability.
Right.
Priority area number 1 is basic needs, because we will always have basic needs. But the second priority area is actually financial stability. 2 strategies which we are completely building out. One revolves around workforce development, and the second is coaching and asset building. The employer-sponsored small dollar loan is actually a component of the coaching and asset building strategy.
Yeah, and you know what I want to say to you guys? I want to tell you not to be embarrassed. This stuff happens to everybody. If you don't make use of some of these resources, your circumstances may never change, and all the information that you gather at United Way is confidential.
Yes.
So when and at LISC, at meeting with the financial coaches is confidential.
It's confidential and it's client driven. So you come in with your goals and you know where you want to be. There's often a misconception in the community as if somebody doesn't have, then their values don't match mine.
Yeah.
And that's absolutely not the case.
Right.
What's happening is they're in a situation to where their behaviors, maybe they don't have the skills, the knowledge, the experience needed to have their behaviors match their values, or perhaps they're in another type of crisis so their behaviors can't match their values. And that's really the heart of the coaching model. Is to help individuals. We believe that every person in the community is creative, resourceful, and whole. And so we help them build their plan so that they can achieve a major financial outcome over a period of time. And when we're talking about major financial outcomes, we're talking about people gaining long-term employment, increasing their income, improving their credit score, so that they can build those assets they need so that they can improve their overall net worth. Because what we're really looking at is over a period of generations, we would like to see an intergenerational transfer of wealth. Nobody comes into a financial opportunity center and says at the top of their game, I'm here because I want to make sure that I'm procuring an intergenerational transfer of wealth for my family.
They don't?
No, that's just not the way it happens.
I thought that was
what
exactly
they
the way it
say
happened.
is, I need a car, I need a job.
That's right.
And the
That's
biggest
right.
one is, I want a better life for my children.
For my kids. Right.
And so what a coach does, and they help them through this without even knowing it. You're getting the skills, you're gaining the knowledge, you're gaining the experience, you're understanding how to read a credit report, what that means, how that's valuable in building your assets to build your future for you and your family.
Yeah. You know, and what I think, Val, too, is that people who are in these situations ought to be mad. They ought to be screaming at this, because you are once again being victimized. These folks are not out here to help you. They are out here to make money from you, and you are once again being victimized. So it is important to pay attention to the resources that are available in this community that will remove you from that status of victim. And
Sometimes
that's exactly
it's hard
what
for
your
them
status
to feel
is.
like a victim. Have you been into a payday lender? They're the most friendliest, wonderful, kind. They got coffee. They greet you by name when you come in. And so to think that they're this dirty little thing in the corner that, you know, is all down, no.
Yeah.
No way.
But you know what? At the end of the day, we are not talking about unintelligent people. We are talking about uninformed people.
But we're also
Absolutely.
talking about accessibility. So when transportation is a barrier, and also banks close, traditional banking hours, there aren't later
Right.
branches, and you have here you have an alternative payday or an alternative lender right around the corner from you that you
Open
know
till
you're,
9.
Yep,
Open
you're,
till
you're
9,
gonna
yeah.
walk in,
Yeah.
they're gonna look like you, they're dressed like you, they know you by name, and best of all, you know you're going to leave with money.
Right.
You're going there for something, and you know you're going to leave out the door for something.
Right.
And it doesn't matter. So all of when we talk about the percentage, if you have a basic need that needs to be met, all you're thinking about is the end game, and that is, I need to keep my lights on. I need to feed my babies. I need to get to work. Maybe I need to get my car fixed. Whatever it is, this going to this place allows me to leave with money so that I can afford to survive.
Absolutely. But I'm telling you, in case you have any doubt in your mind, don't believe the hype, honey. Don't believe the hype. You are being victimized by these
But they do a good job
associations.
of not treating them like, or they
Absolutely.
don't leave feeling like a victim. They leave feeling empowered because they have the money. It's not until they're caught in that cycle. Yesterday at our press conference, we had a young lady step up, highly educated, working woman, 2 children. An emergency came up, and she had already dealt with a few emergencies, and she was flat broke.
Tapped out.
So she went out to a payday lender, took a $500 loan. It took her 2 years to pay off, in excess of $2,000.
Absolutely.
So
Yep.
there the victim feeling comes, but not when you're at the store getting it. It's when you can't get out of the hole.
Right, and that's why it's so important that people hear you all and that you all scream loudly about this, and that you talk loudly about the alternatives, about the product that's out here now to help folks avoid that.
And the services that are available to help
support.
to prevent you from getting in that situation to begin with.
Absolutely. So if I'm an employer and I'm watching this morning, what's my risk?
Well, your risk to join this program is really nothing because the credit union takes the risk. They're the ones who will lose money if these loans go bad. But we call it employer sponsored because employers have skin in the game. They're attaching this to their payroll. Some employers might pay a fee to join, some might not. It depends on the credit union relationship. But if there's a fee, it's very small. Where they benefit is research shows us that about 1/3 of employees are financially stressed. Half of those are stressed enough where they're wasting about 20 hours of a month of employer time. So if you add up a few employees that are each spending about 20 hours at work doing things that are not work related, that becomes full-time equivalents. That becomes
right.
money right out of that bottom line. So what is in it for employers? Well, when employers care about their employees feel that. And
I was going to
there's
say
a
that.
loyalty
Yeah,
that
there's a
comes
loyalty
back.
that comes back
Yeah,
from that. So if I'm the employee, do I have any requirements to get this loan, or can I just say I need a loan?
Well, I think it would vary. So I'm probably not the best
that's
authority,
okay.
so
Go
I'm
for it.
expecting you to jump in. But certainly an employee needs to be in good standing. I believe that there are probably parameters set around someone who's just been hired and is still within their first year of employment may not be qualified. However, someone who is a longer term employee and is in good standing with their employer could receive a recommendation.
So as I understand it, and correct me if I'm wrong, the initial contact is made at the workplace, and then the referral is made, or do the employees get to choose the credit union that they want to work with? So there's not a referral from
There's
the
an
company.
employer credit union relationship in place. So there'll be one credit union to one employer
I
a
see.
relationship.
Okay.
And so that when they go in, they know this is the credit union that will be serving them. They fill out an application. And HR verifies it. Yes, she works here. Yes, she makes that much money. Yes, she's in good standing. She's worked here 6 months. And so depending on the credit union and employer, it might be a 6 months tenure or a year. Depending on the industry type, the turnover, those sorts of things to mitigate some of that risk
Yeah.
for the credit union. So it is a conversation for the employer and the credit union to define these parameters, but generally 6 months to a year of on the job with HR confirming that yes, you work here, yes, you make this much, and they're willing to take it from the
Final
check.
decision for the loan is the credit union?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, because if they just declared bankruptcy a couple of weeks ago, if they owe that credit union money from bounced checks or something like that, we are trying to help the working poor. We are not trying to fund fraud.
Right.
There's a big difference.
Right,
And
there's
so-
a major
Yes,
difference,
and so
right.
they have the ability to say no to some loans if they don't meet the parameters. But generally speaking, it would not be no because of a credit score.
Okay.
You know, it
well,
would
that's
be-
really good
yeah.
news. That's really, really good news. So the services that are provided at the financial centers, is that what
Financial
called?
Opportunity
Centers, right? Are they free?
They're all free.
Absolutely.
And we also brought another product to market, if I can talk about that now.
You got a minute.
Okay, the Twin Accounts product, it's a loan. You don't have to have a good credit score to get the loan, and it's a credit builder loan, and we'll match it $300 at the end of 12 months. So contact your local financial opportunity center.
And what's it called again?
Twin Accounts.
Twin accounts?
Yes.
So a match savings kind of thing.
It's a match savings, but with a credit builder twist.
Nice.
It's to improve your credit score.
Nice.
If you can afford a $25 payment a month over the next 12 months, you're eligible for this loan.
Nice.
Unless you have
No
a great
kidding.
credit score, then you don't need the loan.
But can we get it anyway?
Well, if you have a good credit score, you might have access to even better products.
Yeah, I
so
suppose
this
that's
is like a
true.
low entry, low access, for those who can't
Suppose it-
access other things.
And so if an employer wants to be a part of this, in the last 30 seconds that we have to talk about this, if an employer wants to be a part of it, Val, do they talk to you? Evelyn, do they talk to you?
It would be best if they contacted Cynthia
Oh,
directly.
Cynthia, really?
Because I'll
Okay.
put them in touch. I will match them with a credit union. So if an employer calls, we'll look at their footprint geographically. We'll find which of the 5 credit unions that are already signed up to work with us in Toledo. We'll kind of match them up together, get them talking, and then they'll launch from there. But yes,
Okay.
if employers are interested, certainly contact me.
Alrighty, and we're going to give you her information in just 1 second. We're going to go away, but we will be right back.